And welcome back. Bruce Porter joins us now for this week's Dollars and Cents segment. You say that your office gets very busy when the weather is severe because of claims.
Oh, it does. You know, I mean, we try to be there when people need us, and we don't have a lot of things to do with the process of the claims, but we're there to help reassure them, help them send them in the right direction, call the 800 numbers for them, go ahead and file claims for them so they can worry about other things. It's very important to know your insurance guide when times are like this.
When things like this happen, yeah, he was just telling me that when we were listening to Jamie over there. But you do a lot of different things at the Resource Center, among them a financial plan. And today we're going to talk about proper structuring of a financial plan. You say it's a little bit like building a house.
Well, it is. You know, it's like during storms, whether they're economic or weather, usually people don't come in and go, boy, that storm really took my foundation out. I tell you, my roof's fine, but my foundation is gone.
Good point, right.
So it's kind of the same way. If you're going to build a financial plan, if you're young and you're just starting out, the main thing you want to do is build the foundation and then build up from there. And there's, you know, the things that are associated with the foundation are cash type assets, secure type assets, assets that are not going to be shaken by volatile economic times or storms that come and go. They're not going to shake those assets. May affect the rate of return a little bit, but for the most part, your foundation is your security. Now, when you go up from there, we talk about the pyramid of investments. When you go up your pyramid, the higher you go in the pyramid, as we can see on the screen, the more volatile the investments become. So, you know, you go to the next level and you've got, you know, conservative equities. Now, what that means, those are things that have that potential for that stock growth, but they're with secure companies that are not necessarily growth type mutual funds. That would go on to your next level, which would be focused on growth. The higher you go in your pyramid, the more volatile your investments are, the higher the risk you have to accept for that potential gain. So obviously, your pyramid gets upside down, it's going to topple over. Times get tough, everything on top is going to take the hit first. Your roof always takes the hit in a storm. Your foundation may be the only thing that survives. So, not to make light of today's events, we want to pray for our friends down in Koshkonong and down south of West Plains. And we want to make sure they're safe. But when you're talking about your money, your life savings, you've worked your whole life for this savings. You don't necessarily want to start at the top when you're building, or when you're done and you're ready to retire, you don't want all your assets in the top. You want to have a good, secure foundation.
So again, the bottom, the foundation where it is, you're thinking of things like savings, maybe annuities, money markets, things like that, that will fluctuate maybe a little bit, but just a little bit. Moving up from there, then you start getting into your securities, maybe some stocks, like you say, maybe some of those sort of blue chip stocks. Right? Corporate bonds, your retirement plan.
Those would be classified as conservative. Your residence would be conservative. But investment property is more associated for growth. So as you move up, it's obvious what your secure investments are.
Now you're starting
things that can't fluctuate. That's your security.
And then at the top, you've got things like art, metals, gemstones, venture capital, more money than you know what to do with. Why not? I'll roll the dice on this startup company and see what happens.
Loaning your cousin $10,000 to start a new business, I would think that would be a venture capital move.
I would think that it would be
That's a lot of speculation. So things like that you just want to be careful about.
All right. Good analogy, though. You know, the foundation typically is still there for sure. All right. So what else have you got going on over there?
Boy, the Resource Center, we are busy this time of year. Lots of retirement planning going on. Lots of people recently been calling in from the show wanting to start their plan.
Good.
And that's a really good thing. We're there to help. We're there to sit down. I spent a couple hours with a couple the other night. They have some debt. They need to get their debt under control before they start saving. Reducing your debt and eliminating your interest, that's just like making an investment, because you're saving that potential money, that discretionary money you're going to be able to save in the future. And you can't do that unless you get that debt under control.
Right, and you can help people manage that debt and get out from under that debt, because for a lot of people, it appears insurmountable. but maybe not necessarily so. And you really have to deal with it.
You just got to put it in a format that you can not only grasp, but you can get a handle on it and then start picking away at it. You know, a lot of debt consolidation companies are out there. There's some good ones and there's some I probably wouldn't use. But, you know, the first thing they do is focus on the highest interest debt first. They try to eliminate that as quickly as possible, and they worry about the other debt later. My clients that were in, they had some student debt that they were overly concerned about because it's still in deferral. They're concerned about it, but they had credit card and some other consumer debt that was high interest that they needed to eliminate first and then worry about that debt. So it's structuring where you're at and then making an attack plan and then really sticking with it.
Then
and it is
somewhere.
tough. It's tough to change from doing whatever you want to now I've got to focus on getting back on track.
But you need
and
to
that's
do
a
that.
tough thing to do, but it is worth it.